if you are in the tech industry or you are thinking about entering the tech industry, let's say you want to be a computer programmer or a software engineer. You know, at one point, those majors were incredibly popular. I think you need to listen to this. There is something happening in the tech industry. There's a lot of layoffs that are going on. And a big part of that, ladies and gentlemen, is AI. It didn't just start this year. We're going all the way back to 2023. And you can see it here. They were already warning people that they were making layoffs. Check this out.
San Francisco-based tech company. The video posted on January 2024 and got so much attention that it may have kicked off a new subgenre of viral video. Watch this person get laid off in real time. The tech industry is again seeing widespread layoffs after a rough 2023.
LinkedIn just laid off nearly 700 employees. Qualcomm is planning to cut more than 1,200 jobs. Google, Amazon, and Snap are among the companies continuing to downsize.
And the start of 2024 seems no different as layoff announcements, especially in the tech industry, continue to make headlines.
Units affected, they also include hardware, engineering, ad sales. So far, last night, CEO Sundar Pichai told his workforce to expect more cuts.
An Amazon spokesperson did confirm those layoffs. The head of Prime and Prime Video and MGM saying in that memo that the company is making some of the cuts to prioritize investments for the long term.
Layoffs are also plaguing industries like healthcare, banking, and media. However, the tech industry is the one that's been dominating the headlines.
This layoff and everything that's happened in tech, I think is pretty eye-opening. You know, like you can have your dream job, you can have your, oh, it's my dream to work for Microsoft, or it's my dream to work for AWS. And you get there and you realize, okay, it's just like any other job. It's a great place to be. There's a lot of great perks, but at the end of the day, they can get rid of you like that.
They can get rid of you just like any other company, ladies and gents. Now, 2023, 2024, fast forward to 2025. This is a big story that I think needs more attention. Shout out to a friend of the show, Roger Meadows, for sending me the story. Goodbye, $165,000 tech jobs. Student coders seek work at Chipotle. As companies like Amazon and Microsoft lay off workers and embrace AI coding tools, computer science graduates say they're struggling to land tech jobs. You know, there was a warning that went out a couple of years ago about these coding boot camps. A friend of mine did attend a coding boot camp. I don't know what's happening there. I don't think she's coding anymore. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I think she's all over the place, but I don't think she's in the coding field anymore. But she went through one of those 6-week coding boot camps to get a job in the tech industry as a coder. And one of the warning signs that was, you know, kind of going around a couple of years ago was that they're not going to need as many people to code. They're not going to need as many employees to program because AI is able to do some of these coding jobs and also some of the programming jobs. And fast forward to 2025, and a lot of these college graduates now are starting to see goodbye to those $165,000 tech jobs because, yeah, the salary offers were pretty significant from what I saw. Like, imagine graduating from undergrad and your first job offer, they're offering you over $100,000. Now, also imagine you didn't have any student loan debt. Hey, you're doing great, right? Those days are going away. Check this out. Growing up near Silicon Valley, Manasi, I think that's how you pronounce her name, Manasi Mishra, remember seeing tech executives on social media urging students to study computer programming. The rhetoric was, if you just learn to code, work hard, and get a computer science degree, you can get 6 figures for your starting salary. She's right about that. I remember all of this. Those golden industry promises helped spur Miss Mishra's to code her first website in elementary school. She took advantage of computing in high school and majored in computer science in college. But after a year of hunting for tech jobs and internships, Ms. Mishra graduated from Purdue University in May without an offer. This is going around on TikTok of all of these college grads telling people, hey, it's been like 9-10 months and I don't have a job offer. And they majored in computer science. Check it out on TikTok if you have not seen it. I just graduated with a computer science degree, and the only company that will hire me or give me an interview is Chipotle. Mishra said in a Get Ready With Me TikTok video this summer that has since racked up over 147,000 views. Since the early 2010s, a parade of billionaires, tech executives, and even US presidents have urged young people to learn coding, arguing that the tech skills would help bolster students' job prospects as well as the economy. Tech companies promise computer science graduates high salaries and all manner of perks. Typically, their starting salary is more than $100,000 plus $15,000 hiring bonus and stock grants worth $50,000. Brad Smith, a top Microsoft executive, said in 2012 as he kicked off a company campaign to get more high schools to teach computing. And now we see today, Microsoft just laid off thousands of employees. Intel laying off thousands of employees. And I hate to say it, folks, but this is something that Andrew Yang was definitely right about. When Andrew Yang ran for president in 2020, and I say hate to say it because Andrew Yang, I know he was a Zionist back then, so just keep that in your pocket. But Andrew Yang, when he was running for president in 2020, he did sound the alarm on the stage, the debate stage, Democratic primary, and he said that I work in the tech industry, and I'm here to let you know that AI is coming for a lot of these jobs. And here we are. Hell, you don't have to work in tech to see it. How many of you walk into McDonald's and you see all the self-checkout? Or Walmart? Or Target? Or Kohl's? How many stores you walk into? Pay attention the next time you walk into a retail store or a grocery store and you see the self-checkout lane. My dad always told me, don't use those. That's someone's job. Right? They're more prevalent now. More prevalent now. The Kohl's that I usually go to, they don't even have people at the registers anymore. There's one register, it's called customer service, and that's where you would go if you have returns or an exchange or something like that. Other than that, you got to ring yourself up. I shared that video on Twitter. I had to take the sensors off my own clothes. I mean, I don't work at Kohl's. Do you? They're going away from it because here's the thing. It is cheaper to have AI do it, have a machine do it, because you don't have to pay them and you ain't got to pay them benefits. Now, to this point about Chipotle, another thing that I want to mention for all the older people in the chat who may not be aware, let's put Chipotle aside for a minute and let's look at Starbucks. Torrin Walker talked about this. He's been on the show before, journalist, great journalist. Torrin Walker said the Starbucks that he goes to in Atlanta, Georgia, he said most of the people working there are college graduates. I don't think a lot of people know this. Starbucks, even up here, Dunkin' Donuts, you'd be surprised how many people working at those places are college graduates. You would be surprised how many servers, bartenders have college degrees. And I know, hey, I was a waitress. I'm here to tell you, there were a number of people that worked with me that had a college degree. Now, people are wondering why. Why would they have those jobs? Because they couldn't find a job in corporate America. They still got bills to pay. Also, when you look at Starbucks, if Chipotle is even somewhat similar, Starbucks offers benefits. So Miss Pamela said Amazon warehouses. You'd be surprised. And I think this is a misconception some people have. They think that if you're working a job that doesn't require a college degree, that you don't have a college degree. That's not necessarily the case. People are getting jobs where they can get them because they got bills to pay. Okay? Gentleman said a long time ago, the rent is too damn high. Now it goes on to say here, the financial incentives plus the chance to work on popular apps quickly fed a boom in computer science education. The study of computer programming and processes like algorithms. Last year, the number of undergraduates majoring in that field topped over 170,000 in the US, more than double the number in 2014. But now, The spread of AI programming tools, which can quickly generate thousands of lines of computer code, combined with layoffs at companies like Amazon, Intel, Meta, and Microsoft, is dimming prospects in a field that tech leaders promoted for years as a golden career ticket. And this isn't just about computer science, but let's start with that for just a second. Sounds like the computer science field became oversaturated. And I dealt with this with a different industry when I was in undergrad, and that was nursing. When I was in undergrad and I was about to graduate my senior year, a couple of my friends were nursing majors and they struggled to get a job. You know why? Because it became oversaturated. Now, this is a long time ago, so this is not like right after the pandemic or during the pandemic, so just keep that in mind. But it became oversaturated. Law at one point I felt was becoming oversaturated. So sometimes when a particular field is heavily promoted, the good thing is it gives it more attention and people say, yay, I want to major in that. The bad part about it is sometimes it gets too much attention and there are too many students that enroll in that major. And now you don't have as many jobs to accommodate all those students that have that computer science degree. But the reality is, this isn't just about computer science. If we're talking about AI, the reality is any field safe? Is there any major right now in college that is a surefire, safe field to go into, and you know that you are going to get employment in that field? Professor Richard Wolff said that we have these economic changes every 4 to 7 years. There is a recession. If you're in college for 4 years, some people, it takes them 5 years for undergrad. No shade, we get it. But if you're in college for 4 years, depending on when you started, that means that by the time you graduate, your particular major, your fields may not have a lot of job openings if we are entering a recession. You don't know if that's going to happen right then or not. Is any field safe? We go back to that video. I want you to see just what is happening more with AI in the tech industry. Check this out.
Intelligence hype of 2023 is starting to have real-world effects in 2024. Major tech CEOs are doubling down their investments in AI. In January 2024, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced his plans to build an artificial general intelligence known as AGI.
Hey everyone. Today, I'm bringing Meta's 2 AI research efforts closer together to support our long-term goals of building general intelligence, open sourcing it responsibly, and making it available and useful to everyone in all of our daily lives.
All this investment in creating AI jobs, but at the expense of others. The recent report from Indeed shows that the number of job posts containing Gen AI terms has been surging.
So there's about a 500% increase in the number of jobs that mention generative AI. There's about a 6,000% increase in the demand from job seekers for these jobs. But there still is, I think, a mismatch the other way in that the total amount of demand for AI talent far outstrips the number of AI professionals.
Every company in every industry is trying to figure out how to use AI in everything they do. I mean, AI is going to create a lot more jobs as well. But at the same time, I would say that there will be jobs that will be automated.
So you think AI has already hit the business effectively?
Oh, absolutely. Especially in the tech sector. I mean, they've been talking about it for years now. The fact that you have more companies moving toward artificial intelligence, and they're looking at the fact that as opposed to paying somebody $200,000, $300,000 a year to do the job, I can actually use artificial intelligence to do the job that they used to be able to do.
This AI.
And this gentleman here, if we can just go back to him for a second. So he's in consulting. One second. I don't think consulting is safe either. I don't think finance is safe. I don't think consulting is safe. I'm just thinking about all the things that AI could probably do. That's why I say, like, is there a safe job? Bill Gates made a statement that in the next 10 years, AI is going to take over the medical field. What do we tell these kids? You know, I'm not an academic advisor anymore, but honestly, if I was still in university, I don't know what I would tell them. And I always had a path to lead them to, right? If they weren't ready to go in the work field, I would tell them volunteer for a year or consider grad school, do an internship, preferably one that's paid, you know, like if you can, those are hard to get. But I don't know what I would tell them today. I really don't. And it just, you know, so many things are being, you know, automated. Someone mentioned earlier in the chat, they said the Amazon warehouses. I think they have robots there too. If this continues, if it gets to the point where AI is consuming more jobs, then that means that we will have to find other things to do. Hell, even when it comes to YouTube, let's keep it real. I can't search for a movie review or an ending explained video, which I love to watch after I've watched a movie that has an ending that makes no damn sense. I can't search for it on YouTube without running into a video that's not even a real person. And it's just like this monotone AI person that says, in the movie, this character is running away from home. And they just really want to know what is going to happen if they come back home. I mean, it's just like, it's so weird. So weird. There's AI music. There are AI apps that all you have to do is just submit the text and it creates a song. What would happen to musicians? What is going to happen to actors like in Hollywood? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm just going too far with this. Maybe my brain just went, woo! I don't know, but I'm just kind of thinking down the road. And if there's less for us to do, then how do we make ourselves like, what do we tell the kids? Do well in high school so you can go to college and major in something so you can have a great career, but you may not even be able to go into that field. And to that point, should we push everybody to university? I don't know. And if you were to ask me this question like 10 years ago, I would say absolutely. But I don't know today. Maybe we should push more people towards some of the blue collar jobs, welding, construction. I don't know. They can come up with robots for that too. I really don't know. I just don't know if any industry is safe. And it's scary and it's disturbing. New York Varsity said many are theater performers too. This is not uncommon. There you go. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we're heading more towards Black Mirror. I'll let him finish here.
Artificial intelligence, and they're looking at the fact that as opposed to paying somebody $200,000, $300,000 a year to do the job, I can actually use artificial intelligence to do the job that they used to be able to do.
This AI thing is real, it's not going away, and they can't have people holding them back. And so what they've been doing over the past year is finding places within the organization that they can trim so that they can get to a pace where they're shipping faster. So taking managers out, and then engineers who are skilled for a previous generation of technology, they're also leaving to make room for people who are more skilled for artificial intelligence.
Everybody heard that. So now it's like you would have to, I guess if I was still an academic advisor, I would have to go back and I would have to tell the students, you're going to have to learn AI skills now too. Add that to your resume too, on top of everything else. What about teachers? Can teachers be replaced with AI? One of my students told me at the end of the program, they said, yeah, this was great and I had a great experience, but I could have learned all this online. I think it's something that we really need to think about, folks. New York Varsity said if jobs are obsolete, no one can purchase goods. This will trickle up and stop with wealthy who inherit their money. There will be only two extreme classes. Yeah, that worries me. That worries me. So I think, we got to pay attention. I'm trying to make sure, shout out to Roger. Thank you for sending me this. I'm trying to make sure I'm still paying attention to what's happening in the job market because I don't know, man. I feel like the layoffs were more visible under Biden's administration because there were a lot of people on strike and we kept covering those over and over. I was like, oh my God, who's on strike now? But now I feel like you're not hearing as much about the strikes like we did before, but a lot of people are still getting laid off. Crazy times, folks. Crazy times. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.